welcome back to Eye on South Asia. Now we have several crime stories that we want to touch on and make sure that our audience knows about what's happening in the South Asian community so that people are aware.
Bhavna, they are not necessarily just crime in the sense there is no killing and murders. They are crime, basically they are illegal, unlawful activities by South Asians or against South Asians.
Yes.
Which is certainly becoming a trend. I don't know what it has got to do with in the recent times. In last 1 year, you will see such things have either been reported more strongly or been more committed more regularly.
Right.
But it's not a good trend for all of us because we are a role model community and we have constantly been an example, a good Smartians, and doing the good work, and all of a sudden you have in the medical field, you obviously know about the Wall Street, and you talking about the terrorism support.
Right, along with hate crimes, as you said, being committed against
Which
South
is not a
Asians.
good trend.
Yes.
And here is a Canadian Tamil, Ramanan Melagananam. I'm sorry, I'm not the best guy to pronounce these names.
I think it's Ramanan Mailvaganam. He is of Canadian Sri Lankan origin, and he pleaded guilty in a New York court. This was on February 8th to providing material support to the Tigers of Tamil Eelam, which is LTTE.
In fact, he bought a submarine design software for them from United Kingdom, and he also bought a night vision equipment from British Columbia in Canada, and he is now in trouble, obviously, and he is looking for a 15 years. On the other hand, on the Medicare side, you have a Texas hospital administrator. He is an assistant administrator in Houston Hospital in Texas. He is involved in 116 million Medicare fraud scheme. Muhammad Khan, he was arrested recently, and same thing again, one count of conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud and multiple counts to paying and offering to pay healthcare kickbacks. Basically, what they were doing is this whole group is alleged to be paying kickbacks to patient recruiters. It is not job recruiters, you're talking about patient recruiters.
Yes.
Owners of group homes and assisted living facilities and beneficiaries, so that he could fill his hospitals and with patients
And bill for unnecessary services that they might have not even provided.
think about how they're abusing this system in America. Such a beautiful country, such beautiful systems to assist, and here people are trying to abuse it. Now you have another Michigan businessman, Tariq Mahmood, who was convicted in a $2 million Medicare scam, and he is owner of a rehabilitation agency in Dearborn, Michigan. Again, one count of conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud, and again multiple on healthcare kickbacks, and he faces almost 10 years. He has been doing the similar things, or at least alleged to. He was the owner of this rehabilitation services center.
Right, and it's completely fraudulent rehab center in Dearborn, and they have purchased, prepackaged, falsified, and just fabricated like patient data and used them to bill Medicare for.
They're converting these healthcare centers, the hospitals, the senior citizen assisted centers into kind of like a, if I may call a prostitution center. This is not what these are meant for. These are meant for our help, and they are supported by billions of dollars of tax money.
Right.
Not very good idea. Then you have the, you are well aware of the Ilyas Kashmiri, who is the alleged terrorist leader in Pakistan, and Raza Laharsib Khan, he is from the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and he agreed under a plea agreement with the authorities that he was sending money to them, and he was set up finally and has been brought, given charges, has been booked for charges, and he'll probably be getting a lighter sentence. But he has agreed that he met with Ilyas Kashmiri, and at some point he knew that he was working with the Taliban's and Al Qaeda,
right,
and assisting them. So at least he has accepted his crime,
and he's cooperating.
He's cooperating, and now we have this. Look, this is what I was telling you, that if we continue not to be a role model community into a country, which we talk later on in Fareed's reception, when we report that story, that we have been a role model community. This country is so beautiful. This allows you to be free, fair, go make whatever you want to make it. Systems and processes are such nice. In the middle of it, if you commit such kind of crimes, obviously that creates hate.
Right.
Especially at a time when the US is going through a turmoil. And here is a classic case. Sikh American Legal Defense and Education Fund has reported a hate crime in the Gurdwara, which is the temple for Sikh community in Sterling Heights in Michigan. It's a new one which is being built, and they had painted the sides, and suddenly the next morning they see there is a graffiti which is all kinds of mix of gun and cross and different words. Really hurt the community over there, because this is their place of worship. They're obviously not scared, as Jasveer Singh from the Sikh Society of Michigan said, but it's not a good thing that somebody comes and spoils the place of worship for any particular community anywhere.
Right, and these sorts of attacks, as you said, with the racial language and everything that was in the graffiti, but also references to 9/11. It's something that happened shortly after 9/11, but also is continuing so far after it, even today, and that's extremely unfortunate.
Not only there, you look at what happened in our own neighborhood here in the Beverly Road in Brooklyn's diverse Kensington neighborhood, where a shop, a business owned by a Bangladeshi Muslim, has anti-Muslim graffiti. They have written very ugly, they're not worth even mentioning those hate words over here against their God, Allah. And this is the TDS Insurance, which is a storefront over there. And somebody did it. It's very shocking. Mamul Haq, who has mentioned, and he's very upset this should be done. But again, this is all aggregation of frustrations and pent-up feelings.
Yes.
When you continue to commit crime of all sorts that we've been talking about here.
Yes, it just creates a downward spiral to the whole community, and we really don't want to be looking in that direction.
Right.
And speaking of an uplifting and positive direction, we have Fareed Zakaria, who has been honored with the 2012 Justice in Action Award that we were talking about. And this was from the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund at the Group Annual Lunar New Year Gala, and that was on February 8th.
Look at this. Here is a role model, Fareed Zakaria, and the way he, I'm sure you watch his show, Fareed Zakaria's GPS on CNN. He says, look, we are creating the first universal nation. And he says, 10 years ago, when I became a citizen, I began using the word we to describe the United States. There isn't a country like this where people from all over the world come entirely and are entirely included in a process.
Yes. See, if you look at this country in terms of unity and where people are coming in to really build it up, create jobs, and build the economy into something very strong and solid, then, why even have those hate crimes and that sort of thing? It just really brings the society down.
Talking about the South Asians and their strength in this part of the world, which is New York, in Queens alone, we have a very, very significant population which is essentially South Asian. And there is a talk going on about the redistricting, and SEWA, which is one of the leading organizations in this part, and their Gurpal Singh, who is the executive director and co-founder of SEWA, has protested against the redistricting. Actually, it's not really a protest against redistricting. It is the way the redistricting is being done,
Yes.
because this significant population, as I mentioned, around 47% are immigrants, and if you join the cities in a certain manner, for example, the Richmond Hill, the Ozone Park, the South Richmond Hill, all together, then it becomes a formidable South Asian force, and they can have actually their own leadership over there, their own politically
Elect their
elected
own
leader.
representative,
But if you
exactly.
split them, 2 cities go in this side and 2 cities go in that side, then obviously they are going to lose it.
Right, and they feel that it weakens the South Asian community, and they really want to combine as many of those districts as possible.
And make them a good, strong force, and that will be a positive action to be taken.
Yes.
We have another very good, positive news about Florida. The India Group, which has created a $10 million annual fund and endowment to establish an India Center at University of Central Florida. And this is Anil Deshpande and his wife Chitra, who have been long working in this direction. And he expects this to create public presentations and other community outreach program, annual forums, research and scholarly programs. This is the positivity of South Asians or immigrants that they bring to this country.
Absolutely.
On that note, towards the end of this session, we have some very interesting stories. We have the famous Worli Food Festival coming back, 2nd year in a row.
In 2011, it was a huge hit.
It was a very successful event, and Worli Singh, she is the person behind it, has made the announcement that the Emmy-nominated television host Padma Lakshmi will be the guest. And this is going to be a very interesting event, because this time they have what they call the chef competition, which is cook-off, where the cooks will be concurrently in presence competing against each other.
Yes.
And then the winner will be crowned.
And they're going to be featuring over 60 different fine India restaurants from all over the US, Canada, and the UK. And as you said, it's a competition, which I find interesting because Padma Lakshmi is also the host of Top Chef. So I think she's bringing some of that flavor in.
I think she's doing a phenomenal job, and Indian cuisine, Indian food, Indian restaurants have become very, very popular, and she expects through her document, which is Worli Magazine and online and whatnot, she will make it more popular, more informative, more connecting. In fact, she is bringing some of the top chefs, including Master Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. He is the host of Khana Khajana, very popular food show. Vikas Khanna, obviously. Subir Suran, Jahangir Mehta, Manish Chauhan, Hemant Mathur, Vikram Vej, Hari Naik, you name them, all these people are expected to be there. I am feeling very hungry.
Oh, it
I
sounds
will be
so
there.
exciting, yeah. And
So, and we'll be
if
covering
anyone
this.
actually wants to get more information on it, it's www.varlifoodfestival.com.
And lastly, Bhavna, we are approaching the spring now. And spring for Indians is this festival of colors, as we call it, Holi.
Yes.
And this has really taken such a good shape. Holi has become a very important festival because it's a festival of happiness, festival of colors, festival of celebration, and different part of the country are now starting to celebrate Holi. You have Holi in New York, you have Holi in Houston, by Masala Radio, you have a Holi in California, big time. The Asha Foundation does, which is in Stanford University, almost 10 to 12,000 people attend this 2-day event. And this time in New York, it is happening what is going to be called as Rang Barse, and it is in the Princess ship where there will be 500 people who will be attending it. And it's on March 17th. The ship leaves from Pier 16 at 3:30, and you can name it. It's full fun and festivity. It's colors, it's dancing, it's music, it's obviously liquor, it's food. It's going to be fun. This is second place I'm marking on my calendar, March 17th, and Worli's Food Festival, I want to be there.
Oh, me too, yeah. That's all the time we have for this week's program. Keep watching us week after week. Also, find us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Eye on South Asia. And we have also launched our Facebook page, It is facebook.com/Eye on South Asia, all one word. So we will see you next week, same time, same place. I'm Bhavna Vannan. See you next week.
And I'm Sunil Hali. You have a great weekend. Weather has been holding very nice. We had a great winter so far. So enjoy your weekend and see you next week. Sunil Hali.